Well, if you're just joining us, we're on part three of a four-part series on the Community Cultivated framework. I'm sharing with you the four pillars of a thriving community that are foundational to the success of your community. If you want a community that's strong and sticky and that can scale, you need to be thinking about these four elements before you think about all the other little strategies and tactics that you can do inside of your community. You want to listen to these first four episodes before you listen to anything else I'm going to teach you and start implementing. It's like throwing spaghetti against a wall to see what will stick if you don't have these four elements in place. If you haven't listened to episode one and episode two, I want you to go back right now and listen to them because chances are these two elements are already at play in your community, but you're just not being intentional about them. When you get intentional about them, it's like pouring gasoline on a fire. You want to pay attention to those episodes and go back right now. Seriously, stop this, go back, listen to those if you haven't listened to them yet. Today, we're going to be talking about the third pillar, which is the third part of the Community Cultivated framework. This is something that you're doing every day in your business and your life. In fact, it probably takes up the majority of your team's time. Yes, the majority of your team's time. If you're not paying attention to this, I can guarantee you that you are wasting opportunity, probably wasting a lot of time. And if you're in business, your time is money. So, what is this third pillar? It's communication. You're probably thinking, yeah, we communicate all the time. We've got this figured out. We have a social posting schedule. We've got our emails going. We talk to our people. We're really great at this. That's typically what I find business owners think about when I talk to them about communication. It's the social posts that you're putting out, maybe text messages if you're super fancy. It's the emails that you're sending. But what's the problem with that? Well, it's all one way. What if I walked through life just like dropping announcements everywhere I went? Walk into the grocery store, drop an announcement. Walk into my friend's house, drop an announcement. Go into church, drop an announcement. I don't ever actually engage in conversation. I don't ever actually listen. All I do is talk and tell people things all day long. Would I be able to build community? Would I be able to build friendships and relationships? Probably not, right? I want you to think of your business like a person because your business is interacting with people who know how to interact with other people and want a similar relational experience, which means we can't just be talking at people all the time. So, when I talk about communication, I'm talking about three aspects of communication. Now, before I share what those three aspects are, I want to get you to think about this beyond just your community. I want you to think about this across your entire organization. So, marketing, community, support, how are you communicating? And the reason this is really important is because all of these channels, your marketing channels, your community, your support, those teams are all touching the same people. And the reality is, it's one person and sometimes one conversation happening over multiple channels. How many times have you experienced it in your business where somebody in customer support is engaging with somebody, and then somebody in the Facebook group has already engaged with them on a similar topic, and there's uh, two different stories happening, and your team maybe isn't in alignment on what they're sharing with that member? Or maybe there just isn't enough context. Your customer support person is like, I have no idea what they're talking about. Does anybody know what just happened? Because that conversation happened inside of the Facebook group. Or your marketing team has been engaging with somebody on a social channel, trying to get them into the community. They finally join and they go into this like Facebook group or circle or whatever it is that you have for your discussion. This person's like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. And your team's like, hi, it's so nice to meet you. So glad you're here. And they're like, well, wait a second. I've been talking to you all over here on the page or on Instagram for days. What do you mean? So glad you're here. One person, one conversation, multiple channels. Think about it this way. What if I saw a friend at church? I texted with them and I talked on the phone with them and I saw them at the bar on Friday night. Then I saw them on Facebook and I acted like I did not know the conversations that had happened at any of those other places. So when I'm talking to them at church, it's one conversation. And then when I'm talking to them at the bar, it's another one. When I'm talking to them on text, it's another one. And I'm talking to them on the phone, it's another one. But I don't actually carry that information from one place to the next because it's a separate channel. The left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. The Shanna at church doesn't know what you talked to the Shanna at the bar about. That would be so weird. It's like carrying on four different conversations depending on where they see you. Well, that's what many of us are doing inside of our businesses. I want you to evaluate this all together across your organization, these three aspects of communication. Okay, so let's go into these three aspects. The first one is probably the one that you think the most about. It's the one I just talked to you about. It's the outgoing. It's the announcements, it's the messages, it's what we're sending out to them. I think of this like the megaphone. And this is often what we do on our social channels, what we do through email, maybe through text. Sometimes you're using some other fancy things, but those are really the core of what most of us use. You want to be thinking about your outgoing communication. What are all the channels that you're using? Are you reaching everybody on the different channels that they need to be reached on? What's the deliverability of those things? Email deliverability? Hello, major problem right now. Do we have another channel that we're able to use to reach people? That's outgoing, that's the megaphone. Now, the next one, it takes a lot of energy, and it's often the least efficient and the least effective because people don't really know how much energy the team is putting into this one. It's incoming communication, the messages that are coming your way. It's the listening, and listening takes work and energy. It takes work and energy as an individual to listen to people. I mean, I just think about all of the different ways that people have to get in touch with me, whether it's an Instagram DM, it's a Voxer, my preferred method of communication for sure, text messages, voicemail, a phone call, snail mail, emails. I like there's 1,000 ways that I'm getting inundated with messages coming my way. Well, your business feels the same way. It's feeling that same heaviness of all of the different ways that you're getting incoming communication. For many of you, it's probably support tickets, maybe it's direct messages. But I want you to be thinking about ways that you're actually asking for that incoming communication, like surveys. If you've spent any amount of time in any of my consulting worker programs, you know I'm a big, big fan of surveys. I am a big fan of asking for that incoming communication so that you can learn more about the people that you're serving and what they desire and what they need. That's another form of incoming communication. But you really want to get clear on those incoming communication channels, decide which ones you want to keep open, which ones you want to close, and make sure that they're all being monitored with the same level of service that you would want in any of the channels. We've got outgoing and incoming. Incoming is like the mailbox. That's how I think about it. Outgoing is like the megaphone. So the last one is what I call internal communication, but this is the conversations that are happening with you and with your community and between your community, like with each other. I think of it like the walkie-talkie because in a walkie-talkie, like we can talk back and forth really quickly and have conversations. I can also listen in as you guys have conversations and choose not to join them. I think about my son and his friend when they go out in the woods, they always have their walkie-talkies, and it's pretty funny to listen to those conversations happening. But the same things are happening inside of our communities. It's those conversations happening within our community, the back and forth among members, the back and forth that we might have with them. This is where we want to be thinking about engagement. How are we engaging in those conversations inside of our community? And are we doing so in a way that feels authentic and relational and helpful and is geared towards progress? Are we doing it in a way that just feels like a little like attaboy, just like attaboy, way to go. You're doing great. That's the last one, that internal piece. You have outgoing, which is the megaphone, incoming, which is the mailbox, and then internal, which is the walkie-talkie. You need to be paying attention to those three different aspects of communication across all areas of the business. This is important because this is how you're going to deliver amazing, and not just amazing, but amazingly consistent customer experience across your incoming, outgoing, and internal communication channels. It's my recommendation that you do an audit if you haven't. Do an audit of those channels. Make sure that you understand really who's monitoring them, which ones do you want open, which ones do you want closed, and make sure that that communication is consistent across the board of the business, not just inside of the community. All right. So that is the third pillar. So far, it's been three C's, right? The third pillar is a communication. And that's the third element of the community cultivated framework. Now, we are going to be talking about the fourth and final element in the next episode. Will it be a C? I don't know. I guess you'll have to find out in the next episode. But I will tell you this, that the fourth pillar in the community cultivated framework is the one that most people want to focus on first, well before they're even ready. Let me tell you what that one is in the next episode. I will see you there.